All right, good morning, everyone here. It's a pleasure to be at the IBR, former HBR. And I always tell people that don't know the story about the council is the IBR, former HBR, is our mother association. The HBR, now IBR, helped to create the Safety Council. And it's a simple story. It's a very Cinderella story per se, because both associations, well, the council didn't exist, but the IBR back then, it was a very small group. Very humble beginnings for both of us. And I always say that the story of the council starts with me. How did I get here? You know, I'm an immigrant. Everybody knows that I was born in the Caribbean, in a tiny place called Roatan. Nobody knows where it is. I know where it is because I was born there. But it's in the Caribbean, the West Caribbean, north side of Honduras. The reason it start with the council story start with me is because it's about preserving life. The reason we exist is precisely to preserve life and to support life. And that's what we call the gospel of safety. You know, how can we help to preserve life? You know, because life has no price. And through time, you can see people in occupational accidents, many of them, fatalities, and it's painful. And we're trying to avoid those things, and that's the reason we are here. I think the committee, the Safety and Health Committee from HBR, was pretty much in charge to create a task force to find a solution. I was sent to that meeting as a proxy. I didn't belong in that meeting, but as a proxy, I went there, and the leadership of the contractor industry was present. You know, everybody, like as I told Willie all the time, it was only white hair, blue hair, and no hair, and then Luis. I was only 29 years old, just a kid, a young engineer, but I was very inquisitive. So the reason it says that the history started with the IBR creating that task force, that I don't think that it's an accident, because the Lord always have a purpose. Few weeks later, I got contact by the chairman of that committee, the task force. It was Mr. Jim Goday, which he is already in heaven. He passed away. He was our chairman twice, but he was the first chairman of the Houston Safety Council back then. Houston Area Contractor Safety Council, that was our name. And so the council was not an association yet. It was still a committee of IBR, back then HBR. Mr. R. Emmett was leading he was the executive director for the Houston Business Roundtable. And so that task force was created, and all this time we still a committee of IBR. So we did the filing for the nonprofit 501c3. Was decided to be a 501c3, not a 501c6. The difference is very simple, because we were not pretending to do any lobby activity other than social responsibility to train these people and provide the knowledge that they needed to have to take care of themselves. You know, there was a new law, maybe it was not too new, it was new to me, the right to know. The right to know law was the HASCOM, the Hazardous Communication. Process Safety Management didn't exist yet. So what we did was we built a curriculum matrix based upon the right to know. What do you need to know to protect yourself when you get exposed to a hazard in the industry? Or what are the hazards? Because if you never pass the gate of these facilities, in reality, you don't know what is inside. So the owner-operator is responsible to tell you what they have and what it is and how you can protect yourself. So simple, basic foundation of safety. And so So that curriculum was created based upon that regulation, but also we did above and beyond compliance, and that was another objective. It was not just to meet the law, but it go above and beyond compliance. So the council finally becomes a 501c3, independent from HBR. However, our relationship is something that nobody understands, but it's been an amazing relationship, because I understood the chemistry and the importance of the relationship with HBR back then and the council. Obviously, the what we call is the body of knowledge. All my support was based upon the committee, the safety and health, all these volunteers. Who are they? Contractors, and a few operators. But out of that committee, they were contractors. No different than today. You know, that committee has a lot of history. So the relationship, the bridge between HBR and us has been that committee, actually. And there's other committees that they support and help us. The operations committee, obviously, you know, that's the operators, but the safety and health committee worked directly with me to create curriculum. Our first curriculum was supported by that committee. Not to mention the reviews, not to mention the validation. You know, we created a legally sound process. The foundation was pretty solid. So personally, I felt a lot better, because originally we started on the wrong foot, and then the relationship, we just excelled and it blossomed.
Mi esposa.